Hey guys, Greg Lappin here with Fieldcraft Survival, and I'm here with Jason from Unit Solutions. And what we have here is essentially a CO2 operated training AR, M4, AR platform, whatever you want to call it, right? It's pretty unique in that it operates quite a bit differently than most of like the CO2 operated quote unquote airsoft guns. And from what I've seen, my experience, this is a much higher level professional grade training tool, not a toy per se, but a massive value add for law enforcement teams that want to do force on force training, even civilians that want to do force on force training. Most of the other marking cartridge weapon systems out there, you have to be a law enforcement or military agency to purchase. Civilians can buy this, correct?
Yeah, you can buy that direct from our website and ship straight to your door.
There you go. So civilians that you want to up your training, put targets, honestly, like even in your house and do your home emergency drills, your barricade drills, you can go do that. So I spent 22 years in law enforcement and government contracting and worked overseas for a couple government agencies, as well as spent a lot of time on a major SWAT team as a lead explosive breacher and a senior assaulter. And we used all the common marking cartridges. And the problems that I've seen with those is you get massive amount of fouling in the barrel. They jam up. They're obviously very expensive, not just for the conversions and weapon systems, but for the ammunition that it fires as well. There's instructor certificates that you have to have. And so what does someone need to do to get one of these?
Yeah, right. So step one, go to the website, www.unitsolutions.com. Get it sent to your house, sent to your unit, sent to your department, whatever the case may be. And from there, you show up, it shows up, and you can just start training.
Yeah. So, I mean, this is every bit of an AR. It's the weight, the feel, the size. Obviously, 10.5-inch uppers on these.
That particular model, yeah, you got 10.5. So we've got a 14.5-inch free floating barrel, common AR-15 style platform. We've got a 10.5-inch shorty, also free floating barrel, full length rail, and then we've got like an M4 replica that's it's got the A-frame in it and everything.
Yeah. So I mean, we got M-Lock on here, so you can mount your lights, your lasers, your slings. I've got my personal sling, and I put one of my personal optics on here. You've got your rail system up top, magazine release, safety selector, and this one has the fun switch on it.
It does.
Yeah, so this has got a fun switch on it, full auto for all of those that understand fun switch. Standard collapsible stock. It comes with the back plate, this one anyway, for a QD sling mount.
Yep.
So it's really, really nicely kind of set up out the box. Go ahead, mount your optic on it, mount your sling on it, put a white light on it if you want. I highly recommend it if you're doing it for training. I have a white light on my work gun, and then load it up and go.
The goal there, and what we're seeing consumers do, including myself, is if you're gonna run it on your railgun, run it on this. That way you've got apples to apples.
Yeah, absolutely.
Introducing any negative training scars or habits.
Yeah, I mean, this is essentially my work gun. Obviously, I would get one of the blue training cans on it to replicate the length of it, and put my light with my pressure switches on it, and then I mean, it's ready to go. So I'm excited to shoot this thing some more.
I'm excited to watch it shoot.
So guys, I can't say how awesome this thing is enough. I mean, Jason, I'm pretty floored. We fired 2 magazines at a fairly high cyclic rate. We didn't go full auto, but I'm doing multiple hammer pairs, hammer drills on these targets, and it operated flawlessly. No malfunctions. Right. I will tell you from my experience is the competitors in the force on force space, very rarely do you get through a full magazine without having a malfunction. The plastic bullets that feed into the normal chambers on these rifles, they get marred up, they get bent, they get smashed in there. Next thing you know, you're pulling your upper off, punching the bore out, and then redoing the iteration. Right. So 2 magazines through the gun, 0 malfunctions. Felt recoil, obviously not as much as a 5.56 gun, you're shooting a tiny little pellet, but you're feeling the recoil, you're feeling slide lock, bolt lock, which is super cool, so hey, I'm out. And I mean, this is my gun. It's a 10.5-inch AR, you know,
Right.
Mark 18. So this is essentially what I run. I'd put my light on it, put my laser on it. I can run night vision stuff with it and have it as a fully capable training rifle.
Right. Yeah, and that's exactly what we're after, is making sure you had a system that ran. If it doesn't do that, nothing else.
Of course.
It doesn't matter.
Reliability in our profession is like first and foremost.
It doesn't matter what else it does. So it had to run. You know, it's got to be able to be outfitted the same way as your real rifle. It's got to look the same, feel the same, function the same. You know, and then when you talk about the other part of realism for me in this is when you were highlighting, you know, this other deficiencies and whatnot, that's time wasted. So if you're trying to train other folks or you're training yourself, you're wasting time on doing maintenance on your system as opposed to getting after shooting targets, doing force.
Absolutely. And you know, during training courses, during selections, during evaluated CQB runs, I've actually experienced this. During evaluated CQB runs, I've had a malfunction in my training rifle with those marking cartridges that is unrealistic to a malfunction you have in the real world, right? Where you could fix that rifle and get back up and going. And now I'm doing an entire iteration through the house without this and my pistol. And I've actually gotten dinged like, what? Well, I had this many plastic rounds stacked up in the barrel. What do you want me to do mid-iteration?
You cannot introduce negative training
for sure.
Scars or habits.
Absolutely.
You know, our system just doesn't do it.
Reliability is key, and that's what I've always said. I've never really been that good at anything, but I'm reliable. You know, I'll be there. I'll be there. So no, I appreciate it, man. This was awesome. Yeah.